Jody Mango, yeah! Good day. Now we are on the second episode of Mathaya. In the first episode, we learned about numbers, its uses, and where we can see it. Now we will learn about the operation where numbers are frequently used, and that is all about addition and subtraction. This operation is commonly used in math, but not only in math can you see addition and subtraction. Basically, it's used in a real life. It's used when you are buying something, eating, and many other stuff, including relationship with people. You add and subtract people, add and subtract money, add and subtract items such as foods. So basically, it's used everywhere. Now what is addition and subtraction? Addition is basically an operation wherein you combine or include two or more of anything, while subtraction is an operation wherein you remove or reduce one thing from another. But before we can proceed to addition and subtraction, we should first learn how to count. Before we start counting, we need to remember the Hindu-Arabic numeral. This numeral is the commonly used numeral or representation in the world, as discussed in the first episode. This numerals focuses mainly on the following digits or symbols: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This here is the spelling of these numbers. Now what you see here is a line that I used for counting. So for counting, we'll start at 0 or nothing. So 0, then we move one step at a time, then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. As you can see, after 9, it showed 1, 0, because as mentioned earlier, the Hindu-Arabic numeral focuses on 0 to 9, these digits. After it finished 9, it changes, it returns to 0, then added the other digit 1 before it. That's why you have 1, 0. Since you restarted from 0 again, you can see from continuation here, it became 1, 1, here, 1, 1, then 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, and 1, 9. After 1, 9, again, you hit 9. That's why you need to come back again to 0. So you place here 0. Now, since this one, you will not change it into 1 because you'll just return to everything. So now you change 1 to 2. So it becomes 2, 0, 2, 1. So the pattern here is simple. You count the first digit here, you count upwards one at a time. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Then when you reach 9, you return to 0. Then you add another 1 to the next digit. Now what I have written here are the continuation of the earlier counting. As you remember, right here, we started from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 9, 10. So 1, 0 is read as 10. Then this 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you can notice, these numbers 10 up to 12, they have their unique spelling, while for 13 to 19 uses the teen here, and then uses 13 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically, these numbers 11 to 19 is just 10 and the 1, 2, 3. See? So 11 is 10 and 1, 12 is 10 and 2, and then afterwards 19, I mentioned earlier, it will become 2, 0. It's named in the English language as 20. Then afterwards, you can see here again 20 and 1. So 21. 20 and 2. So that's 22. See? 20 and 3. So the 20, if you can notice, it came from the word 2 also. Then after 29, because this is the last one from the digits, after you counted up to 29, you'll move to 30 or the 30. 30, you can notice also this, the first few letters, it loosely came from 3. And after 30, that's 30 and 1, 30 and 2, 33, 34, 35. So for easier spelling, that's why they wrote it like this. They removed the end. Then afterwards, you can see that it moves to 40, then up to 50. So this 4, 5, 5, 50, 50, 60, 70, 80, up to 90. Now, we should remember these numbers because this will be vital for numbers after 99. After 99, you will see that it will become 100. As mentioned earlier, since both numbers before is both 9 already, you change them both to 0, then add another one. This one. So it becomes 100. Now from 100, you will move again. If you remember counting, you just change this one again to 1. So that's 101. That's why you need to remember the numbers I mentioned earlier, 0, the 1 to 99, because you can see here, after 100, becomes 101, which is 101, up until here, 199. See, we just use the same here, 100, then added the 99. Basically, the name of the numbers I mentioned earlier in the previous table. And then, for the succeeding, it just changes from 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it just added the word 100 after it. 5, 6, 7, 8, up until to 999. After this, you will see a change in the naming again. After 999, you will move to 1000 here, 1000. After 1000, it will become 1001. So you can see, we used again the names previously I have written or in the table. Then 1001, 1002, up until 999,999. Basically, that already has 6 digits. So all of this will become 999999. Then after 9, after that number will become here 1 million. Okay. After 1 million, you move forward again, become 999,999,999. We'll move to 1 billion. So basically, it follows this method. Here, this is the place numbers. So you remember, we started from 1, so that's 0 to 9. Then afterwards, after 9, we become 10. That's why it's called tens. Then 10, 11, 12, 13, up to 99. So we move again to the hundreds. That's why it's called here. If there's 1 here, that's 100 after 99. 100, 101, 102. Then afterwards, we move to the thousands. Then we move to the 10,000s, to the 100,000s. You can see here, if you see my writing, I wrote here, no, 3. For every 3, there's a comma. So basically, we move from hundreds. But that's why it's used every 3, because you can see here for the hundreds, it's a marking for every 100. So the hundreds here, then after 10,000s, so use again the 10,000, 100,000s, the millions. So you change the thousands to millions, as you can see here. The millions, then 10 million, 100 million, okay, then billion, 10 billion, 100 billion, then trillion. It can go higher and higher, but I'll just focus here because I don't think we could have that. Well, we are hoping we could have that money anyway. So let's see. So for example, if you read this number, okay, it's read as 6 trillion. Why trillion? Because you already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Basically, you hit the trillion already, so that's why it's 6 trillion 895 billion 415 million 723,238. Okay, you write it as here like this. Okay, you do not forget the comma, because if you can see here, it's harder for you to know where you're already. So this one, it enables you to know if you're in the hundreds, in the thousands, millions, billions, trillions, and up to quadrillions or zillions. After we have learned basically how to count from starting from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 up to even to the millions, we'll now move on to addition. As mentioned, addition involves combining or including one thing to the other. If you look back here at the counting line, you will understand why counting is important. If you have noticed in the line, we have moved one step at a time. Basically, we included one. We used including, right? Including. So basically what happened here is we added 0 plus 1, or we add 1, 0 and 1. That's why we moved to 1. 1 and 1, will be 2, 2 and 1 will be 3, 3 and 1 will be 4. So basically, addition is basically more or more than 1 increase in step. Now, let's take for example, we want to add these two lines. First line has 2, while the other one is 3. Okay? So what we did here, as you can see, this is the addition. We combined them. Okay? When we combine them, we put 0, 1, 2 here. And of course, we started 0 again for 3. So we added here 0, 1, 2, 3. So basically, we add this line to this line. Afterwards, we count to know what's the total of this line. To know what's the addition of 3 and 2. So if we count, it will become 3, 4, and then lastly 5. So 5 is then the answer for 3 plus added 4. Now let's use addition to practical sets. For example, you have 12 coins and 10 coins. This you see here is we call the plus symbol. If you see this symbol in math, it usually means that you will add two numbers or more. Okay, so I've shown here 12 coins. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 12 coins, we add to 10 coins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so what I did, we combined these coins. As you can see, I just pulled these coins here. This is the 12 coins. And these coins here, this is the 10 coins. So if we started counting, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Therefore, 12 coins plus or added to 10 coins will result to 22 coins. Basically, that's why you need to know counting. Basically, counted to get the answer. So counting to get the answer is the basic one, but there are also easier methods. Okay, before we move to the next method, we need to be able to first to know the addition of these numbers 0 to 9. Why? Because these numbers is what you will see. Because as mentioned earlier, this is the basis of the numeral, the Hindu-Arabic numerals or the numbers. So 0 to 9. So that's why I created here. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 3 is 4. 1 and 4 is 5. Until 1 and 9 is 10. So basically, I added 1 to 9 to 1. 1 to 9 to 2, it will result to this one. Then for 3, for 1 plus 1 to 9 will result to this table, 4 and 5. Now, what I want to make sure here is that you understand that if we added this 1 plus 9, it will become 10. Basically, from just one digit, it became 2 digits. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Then afterwards that it became 2 digits. Then after 10 it became what? 11. Okay, so 3 plus 7 equals 10. 10, 11, and 12. So you can see, I created here the numbers, the combination, the partner numbers. I called it the partner numbers. That when you add them, it will result to 10. So if we add 1 and 9, it will become 10. If we move further after 5, we will get that 9 plus 1 equals 10, 8 plus 2 equals 10, 7 plus 3 equals 10, and 6 plus 4 equals 10. What I want to make sure here is, if you added, for example, 2 and 9, you will already know that you will become, have an answer that is greater than 2 digits. I will have 2 digits, okay? So if it's 3 plus 8, basically it's 11, so higher, 2 digits already, okay? So any number within these two, if one of them is higher, it will already result to a value of 2 digits. Just for you to remember. Now let's add higher numbers and use the method we've learned. Okay, so now we add, for example, 25 and 22. 25 can be separated or can be expanded to 20 and 5. 22 can be separated as 20 and 2. Now we can add them easier. So 5 and 2 will result to 7. 20 and 20, basically you can treat this as basically adding 2 and 2, and then 0, since 0 is nothing. So 2 and 2 is 4. That's why 4, then you add again the 0. That's why it's called 40. So 40 and 7 will be 47. Okay? Now, another one, 153 and 269. We add them. So basically, we can also expand them. So 150 and 3 for 153 and 260 and 9 for 269. We add them again, 1 and 1. So 3 and 9. Okay, if you remember, 1 and 9 is 10. But 3 is 2 steps higher than 1. So we add 2 to 10. That's why it became 12. Okay, 50 and 60. We remember 5 and 5 is 10. But this one is higher. So one step higher is 6. 6 is higher for 5, one step. That's why we put here 11, 110. Okay, then 100 and 200 will become 300. Basically, this will be the numbers. But you can't just put more numbers, because you can see here the 3 and the 1 here overlapped. So you can just do an addition again. So 300 will be 300, 0, 0. So since this is both 0, so you can just write 0 here. 110, okay, so you add here. So I've already expanded them again, so that becomes 0 and 0 will be 0, of course. Then 0 and 2 will be 2. Okay, 0, then 10 and 10. So you add 10 and 10, become 20. Here 300 and 100. So we add 300 to 100, it will become 400. If we add them again, it will be 422. So we can say that 153 plus 269 will result to 422. Doing this will be easy, of course, but sometimes, as you can see, you had multiple additions. There's also another step or another method that we can also use here. Okay, and here I just rewrited it easier. But for you to understand how it happened, you should remember this. This is the places that I mentioned earlier, the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and so on. For addition, what you will do is you will add from the ones place first. Why the ones place? Because this is the smaller value, because this is, as mentioned earlier in the counting, you add another one, another digit, another digit, another digit. So basically you start here first. So that's why you add here first. Okay? So if we add these numbers, you can see here, so that's 2 and 5. Okay, we add 2 and 5 is 7, 2 and 2 is 4. Okay, so we add them one at a time, but we still get, okay, we'll be able to get the same answers. Okay, but now if we add here 153 and 269, what we will do is like this. 3 plus 9 is 12, but we can try 12 because here, that's why we needed to add another. So what we do is we copy first the ones digit 2 here, and then we carry the extra. Okay, so pick up the extra digit, so the tens. Okay, so from there we add them again. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 will be 12. Okay, so basically you add again, write 2 here, write the 2, then we carry again the 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4. So basically we also arrive at the same answer, but at a shorter rate or shorter addition. Okay, now we will move to some namings here. If, for example, we add 25 coins and 22 coins, we'll get 47 coins, right? Sorry, my writing is not really good. Okay, so we have here 47 coins. If 6 apples, we add to 12 apples, we have 18 apples. Okay, and then if we add 25 million and 11 million, same, we just copy again. Okay, so it will become 36 million. Why did I say that? Because if you remember this one, these words, okay, you remember these words, you can add. For example, you change this million to thousand. So 25,000 plus 11,000 will become 36,000. 25 million, billion, okay, I mean billion, if you use the billion, 25 billion plus 11 billion will be 36 billion. So if you encounter numbers that has zeros here only, and you remember, okay, that they are in the thousands, the millions, or the billions places, you can just add them simply like this. Just copy the names. Okay. Now, I've already taught you different methods or the simple methods for adding numbers. But you might say, hey, that's so easy. I can do that in my sleep. Okay, and because it's just a few numbers. That's why I have here samples of higher or more numbers. You can see here, we're adding already at the thousands places, the millions places already. So I'll show you how to add so that you will not say that you did not know how to add for these numbers. So again, add numbers here. So as mentioned, we start from the ones places, okay? We start from the ones places, we start from 3 and 9. 9 plus 3 will be 12. So right here, 2, okay? You carry them 1, and then you add them again. So 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. So you write 8. Okay? After 8, you did not carry anything because it's not greater, okay? So you add here again. 6 plus 5 is 11. So 1, okay, and then you carry 1. Then 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8 again. So 8, right here 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. So basically, the answer for 25,623 here is plus 22,559 is 48,182. Okay, now let's move to the millions. Let's do the millions, okay? So 9 plus 6 is 15. We write here 5, then carry 1. So I will just maybe some of you are asking why carry? Okay, because what happened is you just put it higher. That's why they usually call it carry. Okay, not the carry in MOBA or if you are playing games. So not that one, but here we're also carrying because you just put it higher because you carried it. Okay, now let's continue. So 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. So we add here 12. 1. Here. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. So 9. Okay, 9 plus 5 is 14. 14. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, that's why I put here many 9. But if you can see here, 9 and 3 is 12. You know, if you notice something, we use the number lower. For example, this is 3. We use the number lower, 2, and then made a carry of 1. Here, 9 and 6, we use 5. We have the values 5, then you carry 1. So basically, if you add any digit from 0 to, from 1 to 8, you will just remember that you will input the number here, the lower number. For example, if it's 6, it's 5. If it's, for example, 5, then you will put 4. And then, of course, you will always have a carry. Because, as mentioned earlier, after 9, it will add another digit. That's why you carry it. Okay. So, 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus 8 is 12. Okay. So, since it's 12, you carry ulit again. 5 and 5, the partner numbers, you know already it's 10. So, plus 1 is 11. Carry 1 again. Then, 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. And then, since you don't have anything here, just copy 9. So, now we know that 1,535,669 plus 96,589,256 will be equal to 98,124,925. Okay, so you can see here that you can add up to millions. You'll just use the same method. It will be longer because it has more numbers, but still method. Now, you might be saying just 2 numbers. Oh, here, I have here 4 numbers. So you will not be, say that you need learn numbers adding for more than 2. Okay, for more than 2 numbers addition, I usually remember the partner numbers. As you can see here, we have partner numbers 6 and 4. We already know that 6 and 4 will be equal to 10. Okay. And then 9 and 5 mentioned earlier, it will result to what? 14. So from here, 14 plus 10 will be 24. So what happened here? You do not write 1 here because the answer will be 24. Okay. So what you write here is 2. Okay. Now again, we add. 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay? 14 plus 2 is, sorry, let's make it easier. Again, it's 2 here. Okay? Remember, this is 2. It's not good looking, but it's 2. So 6 plus 2 and 2. So basically, you know 2 plus 2 is 4. If you know 2 plus 2 is 4, if you add it to 6, it will become 2, 10. 10 plus again 14. So basically, it's again 24. So you write again 24. 2. To make things easier again, find for the partner numbers. Here's partner numbers 2 and 8. So 8 plus 2 is 10. And 6 plus 6 is 12. So 10. So basically, it's 10, 12, and 2. So basically, 12 plus 2 is 14 plus 10, 24 again. See? Okay. Then, we can find another partner numbers. This is 5. 5. That's 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. And then again, 5 plus 9 is 14. Okay, remember 4. So 14. So it becomes 26. So put here 6. Then add here, carry here 2. I'll just remove this one so that you will not be confused. Okay, after that, you add them again. You find your partner numbers 8 and 2. Okay, so 8, 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13 plus 5. So 13, we will have 13 here for these three numbers. Then 5 plus 8 is 5 plus 8. Okay, I'm confused also. Okay, 13. 5 and 8 is 13. So we have two 13s here. So, okay, I'll just remove this one. Okay, there. So 13 plus 13 is 26. So again, 26. 6, then 2. Okay, partner numbers again. This 5 and this 5 here. So 10. And then we know that 9 plus 2 is 11. Okay, 11 plus 10 will become 21. 2. Okay, so 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15. 1. That becomes 10. So you write 10. Okay. So now we know that after adding these numbers, 1,535,669 plus 6,985,625 plus 55,894 plus 96,589,256 will result to 105,166,444. Now we have learned to add. We now move to subtraction. So what is subtraction? Subtraction is basically reducing one number to another. So for example, now let's try to subtract two numbers. For example, now we will subtract 5 and 3. So we will subtract 3 from 5. So what we will do is, first, we write the line again from 0 to 5 here. We copy it. And then we place the line 0 to 3 here. Now you will ask, why is it backwards? Because subtraction is reduction. So what you will do is you will move backwards. So from 0, 1, 2, 3. So what happened is, this part here, this 3, 4, and 5 will be removed. It will become only 0, 1, and 2. So basically, it will become 2 only. So what we'll know is that 5 minus 3 will then result to 2. So if you remember, in our earlier method, in addition, we added 2 and 3 will result to 5. So basically, it's just a flip side. Okay, so you will know already that 5 minus 2 will be 3. Okay, because it's just the flip side of the other one. Now let's move to real numbers, to coins. For example, we have here 22 coins and 10 coins. We subtract 10 coins from 22 coins. So we have here. So I just placed here again 22 coins. So if we add here 22 coins. We subtract 10 coins, so that's 1 coin, 2 coin, 3 coin, 4 coin, 5 coin, 6 coin, 7 coin, 8 coin, 9 coin, 10 coins. So I have already removed 10 coins. And the answer will be 12 coins. Okay? Basically, remove the 10 coins already. So you will be left with only 12 coins. So basically, if you remember earlier again, this, we had 12 and 10 coins reversal to 22 coins. So basically, as mentioned earlier, it's basically reversal, addition and subtraction. Okay, now we will subtract numbers. For example, we subtract 22 from 47. So we could also do the same method we did in addition. So we just separated it first. So 40 and 7 and 20 and 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. 40 minus 20 is 20. 25. Okay, if you remember it again, okay, earlier we added 22 and 25. We resulted to 47. So 47, if you remove 22, we will have 25. So that's how you will check if what you're doing is correct in subtraction. Okay, if you add the two subtracted numbers, it should result from the initial number, because if not, you basically made the wrong mistake. But if you don't know how to add also, okay, you will really have a wrong answer. Okay, now let's move. We have here a question for 122 minus 269. I also again expanded it for 120 and 2 and 260 and 9. Okay, but we cannot just subtract 2 and 9 because 9 is higher than 2. Okay, remember for subtraction, you cannot get something that is higher than what you have. Okay, same is true with life. So you will need to have something first, because before you can give. Okay, before you can reduce from yourself. So what we did here is we added 10 to 2, became 12. So where did we get that 12, that 10 here, the 10? We got it from 20. So 20 will become 10. So will become 10. But 10 minus 60 is also not possible. So we added another 100 for them for it to become higher than 60. It became 110. But since you got 100, it came from here. So everything that you borrow, it's basically a borrow, because it's still there. Okay, you need to it's also part of the whole. So they just borrowed from one another. So 12 minus 9 will be 3. 110 minus 60 is 50. Then 300 minus 200 is 100. Now if you remember again, this is already the same. Okay, so this, if you can see here, this one, this is the borrowed form. Okay, this is the part where they borrowed everything. That's why you had another operation here. Okay, now let's use the method similar to what we did for addition. We'll do the per digit. Okay, so 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. So we got here same answer also. So 25. Okay, I've already written here the values, but as you remembered, we did some borrowing here in this part. So for this one, 2 minus 9, we all know it's not possible. So what we do is, we do the borrow. So U12, we change it to this 2, we change it to 12. And this one will become 1. Okay, change it, okay, change it to 12. So it becomes 12 minus 9 becomes 3. Okay, now this 1 minus 6, it's impossible to subtract 1 to 6. So, to 6 from 1. So we borrow again. So this one will become 3. And this one will become 11. So 11 minus 6 is 5. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So basically, you still derive or arrive at the same answer. So you just remembered again this. We just use again this places of numbers. Now, let's do subtraction. Okay, so subtraction of those, for example, we have 25 coins and 2 coins. So 5 minus 2 will be 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we'll have 3 coins. 12 minus 6. 12 apples minus 6 apples will be, what we will do, you cannot do the borrowing here, because you just, if for example you do the borrowing, you will still arrive at 12. So basically, that's why you need to know, as mentioned earlier, the table for adding 1 to 9. Okay, and then the corporate, for example, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. You should know that addition numbers because that's the basis of it. Okay, so we know that 12 minus 6 is 6. Okay, now 25 minus 11, 25 million minus 11 million, okay, will become 14 million. So 5 minus 1 is 4 and 2 minus 1 is 14. No, it's 1. Okay? So once again, similar to addition, the million can be still be used for thousand, for million, for billion, for trillion. If we change it to 25,000, 11,000, it will receive 14,000. So basically, you can do the same also. Okay, now we will do actual subtraction of higher numbers. For this one, you can see once again it's basically lower. We will change it to 13. Basically, we borrowed 1 here. We borrowed here, so it becomes 1. So 13 minus 9 is 4. Okay, if you remember in addition previously, if we added 9 and 4, it will result to 13. So basically, if for this one, you will know already that, for example, you see here 9 and 5 or 9 and 6, you will know already that the number here will be the higher for subtraction. But for addition, it will be the lower that will be written here. Okay. So now, we subtract. 1 minus 5 is impossible. So we get here. So the 6 will become 5. And 1 become 11. So 11 minus 5 will become 6. 5 minus 5 will be 0. Okay. Then 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. So you already got the answer. So the answer is, for 25,623 minus 22,559 is 3,064. Okay, we'll do the millions. I'll do the higher numbers. So 9 minus 6 will be 3. 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay, you need to do this, the basics, for 0 to 9. That's why this is faster if you know it. Okay, U5, it's lower than 9, so you borrow again, become 15. And this will become 2. Okay, 15 minus 9 is 6. So earlier it will be higher. 2 minus 9 is impossible, so you add 10 here. This will become 4. 12 minus 8 is 4. Once again, 4 minus 5 is impossible, so we put here 1. We see this one comes in. So 14 minus 5 is 9. And then 0 minus 6 impossible, so it becomes 1. This one becomes 8. 10 minus 6 is 4. Then you don't have a minus here, so basically 8. Okay, this is for okay. So now we know that 91,535,669 minus 6,589,156 will result to 84,946,413. Now, unlike addition, you cannot do a simultaneous subtraction. I mean, what you need to do is you need to subtract it one by one. Okay, so for now we'll do one by one subtraction. So subtract first the 1,535,669. We subtract 985,625 from it. So we'll get here 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. 6 minus 6 is 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 8 is not possible, so you put a borrow here. You borrow. You need to learn how to borrow stuff. Okay, so this 5 becomes 4. So 13 minus 8 is now 5. Okay, then 4 impossible again, so you just get here, so it becomes 14 minus 9 is 5. So you already have that 500, it will result to 550. But we're not yet done because we have other numbers here. So we also need to subtract again. That's why I already wrote here. So what we'll do, we'll copy again. So we write here 550,044. Okay. Now, if you made a mistake in one step, basically you have mistake over everywhere. So 4 minus 4 is 0. Oh, by the way, I have forgot to mention. This one is called the minus symbol. Basically, if you see this, it means that you will subtract numbers. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So 4 minus 9. 4 minus 9 is impossible, so you change this to 14. So 14 minus 9 is 5. Okay. This will become 9. Will become 9 because we'll wait, I'm confused. I think I made a mistake. Okay, so 14, 9, become 9, become 9 also. Okay. 9 minus 8 is 1. Which we'll get here. It's 1. Okay. So what happened here is basically I was confused, so maybe you were being confused also. So what happened here is we cannot borrow from 0. Cannot borrow from 0 here. So you borrowed exactly here for the 14 first now. Okay, you borrowed 14, you cannot borrow 0 there. So what happened was the 0 here, you borrowed 1 there. So basically we borrowed specifically from here, starting here. That's why the 5 became 4. So this become 9 and 9. It had a value of 10 eh. Okay, that's why you can already borrow from here. So if you borrowed here the 10, okay, so it's called multiple borrowing syndrome. Okay, because there's so many zeros here. Okay, so now we continue. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, 4 minus 5 is not possible, so you borrow here. It becomes 4. So 14 minus 5 is 9. This is 4. So the answer is 494,000. So we still have another one. So we again use the subtraction. Okay. 0 minus 6 is not possible. So change this one to 10. This will become 4. 10 minus 6 is 4. Okay, this will not possible. So basically, it becomes 14. Okay, sorry. This becomes 0. 14 minus 5 is 9. Okay. So you borrow here. 3 becomes 3. So this one becomes 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8. Then you don't have another number. So you have here 3, 9, and then 4. Basically, the answer for multiple subtraction will lead us to 493,894 from 1,535,616. Okay. Basically, for today, the summary is this. We learned about counting, and that counting is one step increase, and it basically is a rotation from 0 to 9. So from 0 to 9, then afterwards it will become 10 to 11. So basically it involves all of these digits only. Then addition is basically when you combine or include two things, and then subtraction is when you remove or reduce one thing from another. Okay, and then we also learned about this one, 1,000, a million, billion, trillion, and then the different places for the numbers, the ones place, tens place, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions places. Millions, then millions, up until the trillion. So basically now we know how to count up till numbers and to subtract and add numbers with those places. Okay, so that's all for Mathaya episode 2 for addition and subtraction. If you have any questions, suggestions, and comments, please do not hesitate to write a comment on this video, or you can send an email through my website, which will be written on the description, and through my Facebook page. Well then, see you and thank you, and always don't forget to leave a like, by the way, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and always have a smile. Joe, 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 Jody Mango, yeah!